We are at a critical juncture. Climate inequity is systemically decreasing the lifespans of communities of color, and the EPA is doing nothing to stop it. My name is Aditi Mayer, and I'm an activist for climate justice. 8 years ago, when a garment factory collapsed in Bangladesh, I began learning about the human cost of the fashion industry. Since then, I've been able to understand the extractive nature of many industries, from fashion to fossil fuel. Today, my work focuses on advocating for frontline communities and how we can reimagine our systems for the betterment of people and the planet. Climate inequity is a global crisis that disproportionately affects the poorest countries and people who are more exposed and more vulnerable to their impacts. The World Bank estimates that 68 to 135 million people could be pushed into poverty through climate inequity by 2030. But these issues are not a distant abstraction. They are also occurring in our own backyard. In the United States, environmental racism is nothing new. Communities of color are more likely to be situated near power plants, oil refineries, and toxic landfills, resulting in more air pollution, natural disasters, and higher temperatures compared to white communities. It's estimated that 56% of the population living near toxic waste sites are people of color. These communities are also 2 times more likely to live without drinkable water, modern sanitation, and are exposed to 38% higher levels of nitrogen dioxide. These air exposures can cause cognitive delays and impaired brain development in children, and chronic respiratory diseases that can lead to shortened lifespans among adults. Despite these grave statistics, the Environmental Protection Agency has refused to take tangible steps to reform this flawed system. It's estimated that the EPA has denied 95% of the civil rights claims they've received since the mid-1990s. The EPA claims that they've rejected these complaints for a host of procedural reasons, from too late for action, insufficient claim, or targets did not receive agency funding, which is required by law. The EPA is able to perpetuate these inequities due to the fact that most of their complainants have no knowledge of civil rights law and other nuances before filing a case. This ends now. Now is the time for us to make a difference. Join me in educating yourself about climate injustice and environmental racism. Tell us about how your community is either facing climate injustice or at risk of being disproportionately affected by climate change. Tell us what you want the green future of your city to look like. We'll put your stories on the first ever youth map of climate injustice and share them directly with the EPA. With your help, we will be the generation to dismantle environmental racism. Text CLIMATE to 38383 to learn more.